Welcome, everyone, to the Dev Fireside podcast. My name is Mika. I'm joined here tonight by Wendy and Sean. We have a little bit of a different crew tonight because some of our crew members are either out of the country or have been kind of recuperating from some of the events going on in the last couple of weeks, in particular GDC. So that is why you're not going to be hearing from Howard. But don't worry, guys. We have more news for you, like always. We didn't get a chance to come back to you last week because we had a lot of stuff going on. And, of course, GDC does get in the way. But we are proud to announce that there's going to be some new developments now. As of today, we are officially announcing the date for our PS4 release. So it's pretty big news. But let's cover up some of the major things first before we get to that, and we'll give you guys all the juicy details when we get to it. So as you may know, the update has already dropped when you're watching this recording. It's called the Fool's Gold update. It has quite a few different changes. Most of them are fixes and adjustments, but you'll notice that we also have the Crusader in PvP and a new map for infiltration called Wandering Ridge. Really pretty map. You should check it out. It looks pretty challenging too, actually. Have you guys tried playing it?
Yeah, I played it in Def app testing some time ago, and it was so gorgeous. But I don't want to give it away too much.
It is really pretty. Yeah.
I haven't tried it out myself, but I'm very excited to try it out once it goes into the live app here. So super excited.
It's perfect for the events going on this weekend, actually. So, but we will be covering it in our dev games next week, no doubt. We'll check out some of the new things too. I'll try to give the Crusader a shot. I've never been one for the skills required on Crusader. I'm not used to it, so
it
should be fun.
It's such a compact ship. It's like a tank spire. Like a galleon, like it's constructed like a spire, isn't it? And if you would like ram a spire into a galleon, I think this is what you'd like emerge with.
Yeah. I mean, I like spires, so I guess that would work for me then. We'll have to see. I've seen so many different iterations of that ship playing with it, so I don't really play with it that often in Alliance, I'll admit, but I will definitely give it a shot in PvP and see how it goes. It's going to be a totally different experience that way too, because we're not going up against AIs here, not with players who are seeking to get their prize from us. So yeah, I got a press around my neck, Yeah, so we're going to be seeing a lot of those things in the game for this update. We're also going to be featuring a couple of different announcements regarding that because we are preparing for our PS4 launch. So you guys will notice that although we actually have a lot of Steam Workshop items included as well, but a lot of the bigger changes we want to include are going to be put off until after the release. Reasons for this is we want to make sure that this is a smooth release for the PS4 launch. We have a history of creating or getting involved in some pretty lively releases in the past. So
we're dreamers. We're dreamers. We dream big.
Yeah. So my hope is that I'm pretty sure, given where we're going at right now, it's looking very smoothly. So let's hope it stays that route and continues that way. But this update will be kind of a precursor to that. So you won't be seeing a whole lot of changes, not major ones at least. We're going to be reserving a lot of those things as we test and do things in Dev app in the coming weeks. I have been keeping a lot of track over the feedback you guys have sent in, a lot of the ideas, some of the changes we've managed to fix. I know that one of the biggest issues that people have mentioned, and it's bugged me too, is the drop-down menu when you're clicking on usernames. You can now deselect out of that anywhere, clicking anywhere on the map. Before you couldn't do that. So that's been fixed. Things like that's kind of a nice, quality of life improvement. But things like the moderated lobbies, we'll be seeing changes probably early summer, like after the PS4 release. So we just want to make sure this is a nice, solid, stable release. So that's why you'll have what we have at the moment. But that said, we do actually have a couple of different events going on. Sean, since you're here with us today, you are our events master, our puppet keeper, keeping track of everything that's going on.
Wow, puppet keeper. Okay.
Yeah, you got the strings on all the operations. So give us a lowdown. Provide us all the info. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about that. Okay. Yeah. So there's a couple of exciting things coming down the pipe here. So first off, let's talk about the events that are currently going on, and then we'll jump to the new stuff. So first off, big news from Sunday Community Skirmish. They're celebrating their 200th event on Sunday, the 29th. Yes, April the 29th. So that's about a month from now. A month from this recording. So be sure to check that out, especially if you like competitive events. Their 200th iteration of Sunday Community Skirmish. And then the second anniversary of Chaos Skirmish is actually coming up on the 14th of April. So that's just a couple weeks from now. And then we've got a brand new event coming out that same day, April the 14th. It's called the Crucible. It's a new competitive event, and I'm still getting information myself, but it's supposed to be a short season type of event. Based off of, instead of teams, it's based off of crews, so single ship compositions. I don't have all the details myself. I just know that it's competitive. They just had their first testing session this past weekend. They're going to be doing another testing session this weekend before planning on going into live launch mode with the event. So there's some information you'll see popping up here and there in the public channels here pretty soon. So stay tuned for more information on that. You'll hear an official announcement probably next week. As far as when they're officially going live.
Cool. How long is the event running for? Do you know?
My understanding is, and I could be wrong about this, so take this with a grain of salt, they're planning on these seasons being like, say, a month or two or something like that.
Okay.
So it's not like really, really long seasons. It's not like, say, 4 months or something like that. It's like a month or two. So
Sure.
and then they're doing some stuff with like rankings, MMR, things like that. So they've got a lot of exciting stuff going on behind the scenes. So more information to come, obviously. They'll be doing a full info dump here pretty soon.
Okay.
So hopefully I'll have that for you guys next week. And then, of course, on May the 1st, and this is in conjunction with the launch of the PlayStation 4 the launch trailer that we just released, yay! In conjunction with that, on May the 1st, we're having a day-long stream on the Guns of Icarus channel. And Wendy and I are going to get into more of that in the coming days, but we're going to have a day-long, and it's going to be day-long for not just for the European side, not just for the American side, for everybody. It's going to be day-long, so we're going to have a whole bunch of people involved in that. I'm hoping to get some event organizers to pop on and let everybody know about the different events that we have, maybe get some various heads up as to what these events are, things like that, but there's going to be a lot of people contributing to that stream.
Yes, and
I know.
Also,
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I hope also a lot of people will just hop in. It's not just an event where you have to sign up. It's just like, we're going to host special lobbies all day. We're going to give away prizes. We're going to show off the best of our community, giving the PlayStation players an amazing welcome to the game, to our family.
And oh, go ahead.
We
go
kind
ahead.
of alluded to it, but yes, May 1st is actually the release date for our PS4 launch. So keep your eyes out. We do actually have pre-orders up right now, so you guys can check it out. I think Wendy will be providing a link in the description box. You guys will be able to access it from that and check it out. You can also find it on our changelog site. We'll be including all the links there and in other places. So don't worry if you can't find it. There's going to be a place for it everywhere. But yeah, we will be opening up our pre-orders. So if you guys are interested in picking it up on the day of the launch and just downloading it right away, then go ahead and check it out. It'll be all the information will be provided for you there on those site.
Plus, there's a discount right now if you check it out. So it's only like, I think in pounds, it's 11 pounds right now. I don't know what it is in euros and in dollars. It's ridiculously cheap for the kind of PlayStation game that you're getting.
Yeah, Guns of Icarus Alliance currently $14.99 in the Steam store right now.
Yes.
So it's cheaper than the Steam version right now.
There you go. Yeah, so get your hands on that if you have a PS4. It's a totally different experience. Just as kind of an inside awareness, you need to register a whole new account when you set up a PS4 thing. They are set up as separate things, so don't anticipate any kind of transferal that way because the system has to operate on two different systems between Steam and Sony's PSN.
If your PlayStation works with a PlayStation account, there's no going around that.
Yeah, it's one of those things we kind of wanted really to push and get that kind of integrated more, but sadly, that's sort of how both systems operate, and we can't really dictate to how these platforms design their own systems.
We are guests on this platform. We already broke the voice chat, making it cross-platform.
Sure.
We have to
revolutionize the voice chat. We haven't broken anything. We're just changing the new boundaries to it. That's all.
Yes, which is already something that was a very hot topic if we can make it work, and we have, and I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, it's worked really nicely. Yeah, definitely.
But
But if you guys are interested in helping us with testing that in the next couple of weeks, by all means, do so on our dev app. We are going to be hosting dev app testing every Friday and Saturday normally.
Yes.
During the evenings, I believe on Friday, and during the, I guess it would be the mid-afternoon in Eastern time. I believe it's 9 p.m., 8 p.m. European time, like Western Europe. So check out those times. You'll find more of the details and information in-game as well as on our forums. You can find out all the information there. But this also includes a lot of the adjustments and changes. Everything that we're preparing for in the PS4 launch is actually going into dev app. So a lot of the systems, a lot of the background stuff that you might not actually see or even notice has been implemented to accommodate some of the PlayStation players. You'll also notice some changes in the UI with the updates, since we're going to be including some functions that will allow players to interface between PC and PS4. And by that I mean, for example, lobby formations. There will be extra options regarding that. So you'll see that. Don't be too surprised. These functions obviously have no effect right now because there's no PS4 players. But when we do have that launch, you will be able to interface with it more effectively. So stay tuned for that. I guess, let's see, we got the pre-order cover, got the May thing, got all the events looking pretty good. I think we're going to try to submit a team for the 200th SCS.
Yes, damn right. Musaurus.
I'll try to make an events. Yeah, I'll try to make an appearance for the I'll try to make an appearance for all three of them. I guess Chaos and Crucible are happening the same day, like you said. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Crucible's going to be. Crucible's going to be a little more. It's going to be around the same time frame that SCS is. It's going to be in that same time frame, so it might be a little bit easier for you to join in, for you and for Belana to join in on. I know Chaos. I'm gonna have to send you lots of coffee for that one.
Yes, that's like at 2:30 a.m. for me. Chaos.
Yeah.
Even when I'm awake at that time, I don't want to be.
Well, it happens, I guess. I mean, we just have to sit up for these events as it is. You're probably used to it from those earlier events in the first couple of years when you actually were more proactive in the events, the ones that would take place late in the evening. So.
I used to be one of these Mountain Dew Dorito gremlins that would stay up all night till 4 a.m. playing in every lobby, just with I didn't have a pot of I always have a pot of coffee next to me, right? But I don't even have a mug. This is what I drink out of. And as you notice, there's no filter on top either. I just trust that I won't swallow the grind.
You know what? I just imagine that you actually take the beans, you grind it in your hands, you put it into your mouth, and you just pour the hot water, and you're like, coffee's so good.
No. Clearly, you're skipping. You're still putting the middleman in there. What you need to do is just take a needle and then just inject it straight into the bloodstream that way.
Oh, just
cut out the middleman. Yeah. Replace all the blood with coffee.
That's what makes half the experience fun.
But I would sit there with 3 or 4 of these mugs of coffee through the night and just
you mean 3 or 4 of these syringes, right?
Yeah, 11 hours straight in every competition.
Pure caffeine.
I was competitive from the fifth day I got this game from. So I was super involved. I have 3,000 Steam hours or something.
People more competitive though. So
it does.
Yeah, it does make sense.
And now I am since I work for it, I'm a bit more chill about the competitive
10,000 games later, you're like, I think I got the handle of it now.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Yeah,
I don't pilot though. It's all engineered.
What, 5 years later? 4 years later?
Yeah.
Still doesn't. Yeah. Just a tradition for you, I guess.
Yeah, but we're gonna try to stay up for that. I'm speaking for me and Miko here just because I can. Yeah, and it's going to be amazing. I'm trying to have as much presence as possible, as physically possible for me.
And I'll try to be early for the events too. So we'll cross.
Speaking of events, we actually have an ongoing war right now between the two alliances. We didn't cover too much of it last Friday because obviously we didn't host the stream then, but let's cover a little bit of that. So let me go ahead and pull some information.
Fairly even right now, if I remember correctly.
We've been talking about it off and on during the dev dev games and stuff. That's usually where I try to chat a little bit about that. Plus the the coffee hour that we have on Tuesdays. But let me see if I can pull up some info on this.
It's
yes, we have 2 alliances.
Yeah.
We have 2 alliances right now. One's called the Trident Entente, which is Chaladon, Yesha, Berenice, and the other one is called the Concord of Paragons, which is the Arashi, Anglia, and Mercantile Guild. And it's really this is an interesting season for me because having helped with the missions for each war, we don't always get the chance to see some of the variables that we'd like to see because it depends on what the players choose for for the different goals. But in this one, both sides have chosen pure conquest as their goal, and 12 is the threshold for conquest for winning. So we wanted to kind of aim for more mutually exclusive goals since last time we almost had a stalemate between 2 winners. Which was weird.
That was...
This kind of thing happens a lot, but that's only because we're trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. It might seem so easy to think about and determine, well, that's clearly, incorrect approach, in hindsight, but unfortunately we're looking ahead, not behind us. So it makes it a little more challenging in that regard too.
It's an unscripted war. That's the beauty about it. You guys make it so confusing for us because we don't know what's going to happen. We hope
it is challenging,
we can predict it, but
but contrary to some of the other wars, this one's actually pretty neck and neck. It looks like we're going to see some kind of conclusion probably in the next week and a half, I'd say, depending on the rate of which this turnaround is happening. But it's like 6-5 right now in terms of out of 12 for both sides. So it's very close. Like it's very neck and neck. So we'll see like who actually gets the first one here because it's pretty clear that both sides are pushing pretty hard to win this war. So.
Okay, obviously, Yesha best, screw the rest.
I actually added Yesha to this alliance partially because they were being creamed pretty hard.
Oh no, we're not being creamed. We just didn't think
we were
trying to be Switzerland.
Well, here's the thing though. They were actually exploding in size, and then in the course of like 2 weeks, they had lost like 50% of their territories between Anglia and Arashi. They both just pincered the Yeshans and just kind of crushed them inwards. So they had lost so much territory, and frankly, they were kind of, I guess, looking at it from a broader perspective of things, they would have been vassalized probably at the rate they were going. So obviously, Chaladon had to hop in and ensure their survival as a buffer state to its 2 nemesi in the western half of the world itself. So it's kind of, I guess, sort of the lore that goes into it. And of course, like some of this has to do a lot with balancing and figuring out what works for both sides. But I know it's not set in stone, it's not concrete, but there's a hope that at some point in the future we can try to set up a 3-way alliance war as well, which can make things interesting because then it's not necessarily like black and white, 2-sided. You can have
I call Anglia.
Well, you can set up alliances that are a little more like tailored for specific faction combinations. So you can get some pretty interesting things going on there too. It just depends on how we can set the system up that would identify that. But I'll see if it's something we can explore in the near future to test it out. That way we can try to do it on a more expanded level in the future. But this is not a promise or anything. I'm just saying this is to see in the future. And it can be possible. We would just have to see if it's doable. So in execution, how well it does in execution. So for that matter. Right. So events, what's going on this weekend, Lysania?
This weekend, okay. So let's actually talk about. Well, I've already talked about Chaos Skirmish and Sunday Community Skirmish. So let's actually jump over maybe to the Friday events.
Sure.
I don't believe there's dev app testing here this weekend, from what I'm hearing. So
that's for sure. Yep, there's no dev app testing. So you guys get to take the weekend off. Enjoy your Easter.
You mean wait? We get a day off? What?
Actually, no, we get like 5 days off. So.
Yeah, I mean, like technically for us, Easter starts tonight. It's Green Thursday, right? Is that in Norway the same way? Thursday evening, Easter starts. Monday night it ends.
Torsdag, but it's basically the same context.
Green Donnerstag in Austria.
Långfredag, påskafton. Yeah.
But yeah, We also have a real life event going on. We as Muse Games are going to AwesomeCon. Yay, awesome!
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Actually, one of our game leads is going to be going there.
Yes,
so if you guys want to check it out, ask him questions, pick his brain, and see how he thinks about the game design in Guns of Icarus.
Yes.
That would be the event to check out. Definitely.
But he's there with Hamsterdam. That's our up and coming brawler.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cute little hamster thing. I'm gonna put a picture of it right here. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, it'll be going on this weekend as well. Yeah, so we have some events going on Friday, you said, Sean.
Yes. So this Friday we still have some events going on. Of course, the Iron Fork of Friday. That is, of course, the longest running event in the game, the very first event that's still going in the game. Iron Fork of Friday, hosted by the Cake Clan at oh gosh, because I think they changed it because of the daylight savings. They changed it
London
back because
time.
Yeah, London time. So what time is it at? You have to refresh my memory.
It's
I am a
7 p.m. UTC, 8 p.m. London time. That's quite early for the Americans, which is why Cake Clan is increasingly becoming a very British clan.
But we also have the Alto party for those of us on this side of the pond. That is at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, 6:30 p.m. Pacific if you are on the West Coast.
And 1:30 UTC in the morning on Saturday, the following Saturday.
Quick, we need German time as well.
Oh, 2:30. No. 3:30. It's 3:30. It's almost 4 a.m. when that event starts. You're crazy.
Yeah. Like I said, coffee.
Yes, coffee.
Just hot water, beans. Just right into the mouth. It works. Direct injection.
I think the Franco-German tournament, Fly Your Colors, is this weekend as well.
Oh yeah, it is.
They're doing their event at, I believe that is at. Hang on, let me get my calculator out here. That's at 7 p.m. UTC?
Yeah, 7 p.m. UTC, yeah.
Hey, I got it right.
Cool. 8 p.m. Berlin time.
There we go.
Lots of events.
Yeah.
So in that case, there's a lot of things to look forward to this weekend. We'll be following up with the updates and the changes for our next dev games on Tuesday, so be sure to join us for that, guys. And stay tuned for more announcements regarding PS4. The ball's going to be rolling faster and faster now. Things are starting to pick up pace here. So light at the end of the tunnel. You can see it now. We have a date. We have a time. So we hope to see you all there when we do launch. It's going to be a big event for all of us. It's a big milestone for Muse Games as well. So it's pretty exciting.
I can't believe we're finally on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Hey!
And if you guys have questions, of course, we have a coffee hour with the devs on Tuesday, which some of our programmers have been more been more active in that. So if you have questions regarding any of the programming or any of the logic or anything just historically about the game itself, maybe any of the designs that go into PS4, what challenges or what interesting quandaries they have to share with you, you can always ask them there on that, and that's found in the Discord as well. You can find the Discord chat through our start screen, or you can do it through the in-game banners as well.
I'm going to put a link in the description box as well.
Or the link in the description that Wendy shares, yeah. So on that note, guys, thank you for joining us for the podcast. I appreciate you guys sticking around with us. We hope to see you next week for more news, more information, and have a great Easter. We'll see you guys all next time.
Happy Easter!
Take care, guys.
Bye everybody.